Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I've been live, as in over a week. So I thought I would come on and talk about the topic, if not now, then when? So join me and let me know if you're here. Joining me in the comments, say hello. It would be lovely to hear from you. But I keep hearing this a lot at the moment. A lot of people keep telling me it's not the right time. And for context, this morning I received 3 letters from my bank. The first letter told me that I had been locked out of my internet banking and that I needed to call a number to get it sorted. Bear in mind that this happened over a week ago and I managed to resolve the issue within 30 minutes. The second letter told me that everything was sorted and I was now able to use my online banking again. And then the third letter said I needed to verify my identity because then this was a problem. So 3 letters from my bank around an issue that happened, let's say 10 days to 2 weeks ago, completely unnecessary. And I'm just a bit dumbfounded, but I'm pretty sure that somebody within the bank knows that this is a massive inefficiency. Somebody within that bank will have known that sending 3 letters out that are completely unnecessary will cost a certain amount of money, and it will just be on somebody's, it'll be on the top of somebody's I'm avoiding this list, or it's, you know, just one of those, it's not the right time, I've got other priorities, I need to fix this through. And yeah, and it just made me think, because I've been speaking to a lot of people recently about various different things. Speaking to somebody about cybersecurity, and he was saying that in his space, a lot of people are like, it's not the right time for me to look into cybersecurity threats or put in the right protection. It's just not the right time. And it only becomes the right time until they've had a breach or until they've been hacked. I hear it all the time. It's like, I really want to use LinkedIn to grow my business, but it's not the right time now. And all of these different things. So I thought this would make an interesting topic for discussion. So join me, let me know your thoughts on this. What was the last thing that you said I want to do, but it's not the right time for? So I've got a few people. So hello, Andrea. Hello, Flavio, Michael, Mark. Hello. Oh, there we go. And Andrea's just been replying to an email from me. Wonderful. I look forward to receiving your reply. But yeah, or has anybody else had a letter, not necessarily from the bank, because we all know that we get letters from the bank that make no sense at all, that you think, right, okay, why has nobody addressed this? And how much is that costing the business? Because I know that it happens all the time. Have I got a delay again? Or nobody's got any experience to share? There we go. Lose weight. Yes. I mean, that's a prime example. I want to become healthy. I want to lose weight, but it's not the right time. What was it now? I'm just trying to think. My mother used to say this thing to me all the time. It's like, why put off until tomorrow what you can get done today? And he used to pull everybody up in the family that used to say, I'll start it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And he was just like, well, why don't you just start it now? What's stopping you? And it's so true. I mean, I know the thing about LinkedIn is always the thing that directly affects me, but the cybersecurity one is always an interesting subject. Andrea, if anybody is not speaking to Andrea, go and speak to Andrea, because she's doing really worthwhile work helping companies help their staff with their mental health so that it doesn't end in tragic suicide. But a lot of companies wait until tragedy strikes before they will take action. You know, I used to work in the shipping industry. Sometimes it took a death, or it took a fine, or it took something significant to happen before somebody would take action and solve that. So, Jamie's commented, start an online business. Whether that was creating a store on Amazon or Shopify, currently seeking a new opportunity. So it could be perfect timing. Yes, there we go. But if you'd have prioritized starting that online business, would that have meant that now you've got all of this time, you'd have something up and running? And I'm not singling you out there, but it's that point. Because I know that I remember I kept putting off having a photo shoot done to get some photographs for my business. And like your LinkedIn profile photo and photos for your website and your headshots for speaking and all of these things. And I kept putting it off because I hate having my photograph taken. And I kept putting it off and I put it off and put it off. And then I found out I was pregnant. So I was just like, well, if I'm putting it off now, I'm going to put it off once I've had the baby for every other excuse. So let's just get it over and done with. Let's just get that done. But it is an interesting psychology there. It's like, why do we all put off these things instead of make time for the things that are important to us? Hello, Mike. How are you? How are you? It's very like, oh, good to see you. I tell you what, I am really loving LinkedIn Live at the moment. I've joined quite a few really interesting LinkedIn Live sessions, and I'm joining Brenda Meller later this week on her LinkedIn Live show. And I'm going to chat to her as well about the advantages of doing a specific show on a specific day at a specific time every week, because I'm thinking that maybe that would be a good idea here. So whilst I'm on here, whilst I have your attention, are you more inclined to join a LinkedIn Live if I were to run it at a predictable time and on a predictable day? Or do you like the randomness of it? Because at the moment, it's all a little bit random. I just come on when I've got some time or have something to say. Hello, Dave. Welcome, welcome. Underlying fear of being laughed at. So that's also a really good psychology. I was talking about this earlier today with a client is, we fear loss more than we fear gain. And some of the things that we fear the most are actually the things that we need to do the most, or the things that are most important to us. So, Jamie, yes, whilst you have the time, absolutely jump on the opportunities. One of the things that I talk about a lot is that there is an opportunity in front of every challenge. And sometimes the worst things that happen to you, or the most challenging situations, sometimes present the biggest opportunity. And I am saying this from experience. And if I could go back and change some of those things, I probably would if I had the chance. But I think it's that, all of the things that have come as a result of them have been quite remarkable. So Mike has said a mixture, planned is sometimes better. Dave has said predictable, please. I like Mike, I like a mixture, planned with the odd random live thrown in. Because I think that with LinkedIn, that's the exciting thing about LinkedIn Live, is that you get a notification that somebody is going live. So you have that choice whether or not you want to join them, but sometimes you don't always have the time to invest in actually watching a conversation. And then sometimes I think jumping in midway through as well isn't always the most productive or the best option or something like that. It's a very interesting dynamic, LinkedIn Live or live broadcasting. I am, again, I've got lots of half-written articles at the moment that I definitely need to finish, but it's something that I'm going to write up, my experience with live broadcasting, and also get some people's input who've been doing it for a while. So if you are watching this and you have lots of experience with live broadcasting, do let me know, because I'd love to hear your thoughts and your experiences. So Mike, I'm going to have to get you onto LinkedIn Live, and we can talk about the wonderful things that you've been doing and do. Or maybe we just, talk about Formula One and racing for a while. That'd be cool, hey? Although I did do a poll a while ago to find out who in my network was actually into Formula One. And unfortunately, it was not that many. I was very disappointed at that. So I have a quiet network at the moment. So my question, it's always weird. LinkedIn Live, again, I always find it much more rewarding, useful, exciting when you get that feedback. It's a bit like running a webinar when you have a very quiet bunch of people on the webinar. And I just find it so strange to predict. I've had loads and loads of people join me on a webinar, and that nobody has said anything at all. And then I've had like a few people join me on a webinar. I've been really, really chatty and really engaging, because I don't know about anybody else. I like my webinars to be interactive. I like to get feedback from the audience. Because, you know, just talking to a camera, talking at yourself, it just gets a bit dull, gets a bit boring. So there's definitely a big delay. I'm getting some comments. So Mike has asked, how did I get the live facility? You have to apply for it. So if you just go to Google LinkedIn Live application form, you can apply as an individual to go live on your personal page, and you can apply as a company to go live on your company page. So it can sometimes take weeks, it can sometimes take months, or it can take longer. I applied a very long time ago, and also I think I've been experimenting with LinkedIn Live because I've been trying to find out what is the right way of doing things. But I quite like the conversational element of it. It feels a little bit more like a network than me just posting videos, hoping that you see them and hoping that you respond to them. It's a lot of strange dynamics going on at the moment, which I find very curious and very interesting. But so far, I'm enjoying LinkedIn Live, both as a participant and also as a broadcaster. So yes. So anyway, what's back onto the original topic around what are you avoiding right now? I love that question. I ask that question a lot in coaching, and I also ask myself that question a lot. Question to everybody watching this: how often do you ask yourself that question? What am I avoiding? Because more often than not, we avoid the things that we need to do the most. And it's always an interesting thing. And the more regularly you can ask yourself that question, I think the quicker you can get through that important to-do list, and the faster you can achieve the things that you really want to work towards. So I always recommend, what am I avoiding? And ask yourself, if you come up with something saying, I really want to do something, but I don't have time right now, or now is not the right time, to ask yourself, if now is not the right time, will any time be the right time? Or will something more important come up? Will something different happen? So in the case of the bank, how long will somebody have known that they're sending out 3 separate letters that serve no purpose? How much money is that costing the bank? You know, it's mind-boggling. And you just think, right, okay, cool. Well, am I focusing on the things that are going to make the biggest difference? Am I focusing on the things that only I can do? Or could I delegate them? Could I outsource them? Could I refocus, reprioritize? So yeah. And Andrea's put, love to chat, but cocktails are on offer before we get locked up again. Good luck for Saturday. Thank you, Andrea. I appreciate it. I hope to see you there. And I hope you will join me for virtual cocktails once it's all over. Yeah. So Mike says he's putting off doing videos for LinkedIn. So my question to you is, what is putting you off? Mark is currently rewording his profile. And then Mark has commented saying, sending 3 letters is cheaper than fixing or changing it. But the thing is, it was all fixed on the phone. You know, the person on the phone could have quite easily toggled something over to say, problem fixed, no need to send out an automatic letter, or no need to send out 3 automatic letters. Absolutely bonkers. So Mike is the best person to be commenting on this. So a scary man, they don't stand in the customer's shoes and walk through the process. Very true. There's a lot of companies that don't do this. And for anybody who joined me on the Curious LinkedIn Challenge a couple of weeks ago, one of the challenge days was to have a look at what I call your Curious Client Adventure. Mike will be able to comment and share some of what he works on because it's brilliant. And I've convinced myself. I think we definitely need to have a discussion on LinkedIn Live about the work that you're doing, Mike, because it is brilliant. But yeah, it's that like kind of going through and understanding, like, how do you take your client, like, do your clients go through an adventure with your business? And are all of those points, those touch points, good? Are they exciting? Do they make them want to come back? Do they leave a good impression? And it's back onto that concept of, are you bad? Are you average? Or are you amazing? Because nobody talks about average experiences, but people love to talk about bad experiences. And also people like to talk about amazing experiences. I wish that people talked about amazing experiences more than they talked about bad experiences, but unfortunately, it's not always the case. But you don't want to be average, but you also need to know what is average to your customers, not what's average to you, what is average to your customers, because then you get to understand where you need to focus on making those changes, making those improvements. Because it's not cool being average. Nobody wants to be average. If you're a bit quirky or a bit weird or a bit nerdy, embrace that weirdness, embrace that nerdiness, because your clients will love it. And I don't know if anybody else is seeing Andrea's comment about cocktails, but I know that I want to go and drink some cocktails now. And Mike said he would love to. So there we go. Mike, you are on the list, and I will get in touch and we can do some good stuff there. So I realized that I've been wittering on, and I need to go soon, go grab my son from nursery. But I did just want to come on live and just start this discussion, get you thinking, and really kind of ask yourself, what are you avoiding right now? And if there is something that you want to do that's important to you, but you don't have time right now, ask yourself, is it actually something that's important to you? How much of a difference is it going to make to you personally and also to your business? And what can you do to bring it up towards the top of that priority list? Hello, John. And then John's comment is, it's important to adapt to improve, but you also need to get clarity on the cost and benefit and prioritize accordingly. Absolutely. Priorities, really, really important. So even if you have a long list of things that are important to you, put a number against those. There's a formula that you can use in marketing. They call it the RICE formula. So having a look at how many people you're going to reach with that particular action, what kind of impact you can expect as a result from it, what is the cost of doing that, and what is the amount of energy that goes into doing it as well. So if you have a look at and you give a score to each one of those sections and then run through that list that you've got, and then basically you can prioritize according to that score. But you need to make sure that that score is going to help you. But yeah, and then have a look at that adventure. Have a look at the client adventure. Are your clients excited about doing business with you? Are they excited about interacting with you? Do they dread speaking to you on the phone like I do my bank? Or do they get excited about speaking to you on the phone? That was always one of the things that one of the companies that I worked for in the past. I'm not going to name names, but I had the absolute privilege of working with some phenomenal people, some amazing engineers who took such pride with working with the customers and speaking to the customers, to the point where the customers actually looked forward to speaking to these people, and they got the service that they wanted. They always came away with a result. And yeah, it was that reputation management, and it worked really well, because then, it saves you a lot of money on your marketing because your customer service speaks for itself. Mark said mostly ghosting. I don't understand what you mean, Mark, by mostly ghosting. I think that's the one thing about, I'm not sure if it's a StreamYard thing, so I'm using StreamYard for this. I'm not sure if it's a StreamYard thing or it's a LinkedIn delay, but there is a delay, which means that some comments are taken a little bit out of context. So on that note, I'm going to not get frustrated about this, and I'm going to leave everybody here. And yes, Mike said, I'm going to highlight this. There we go. Listen to Mike. You should look forward to speaking to your clients, and you should make your clients look forward to speaking to you, even if they have a problem or a challenge. They should know that if they ring you, you are the people that they can fix it, and that can happen. So Mark said, clients ghosting you. So that's not good, Mark. You need to have a look at how can you improve the client experience from the start. And it comes down to marketing. It has to flow right through that entire journey. You know, if you make your clients excited and curious about working with you at the point where they first come across your brand, they first come across your marketing, and then every single interaction that they have with you is something else that's a bit like an adventure, and you know, you're enhancing that curiosity, you're enhancing that excitement through each different point with your business, then you know, you shouldn't get clients ghosting you. And if you do, then it's have a look at what point have they lost interest, or at what point do they not want to speak to you anymore. And on that note, I am going to love you and leave you all. If you have anything to add, hashtag replay, so I know that you are adding it, and then I will get back and reply. If not, have a wonderful evening, and hopefully I will catch up with you again soon. Ciao for now.